In today's 23-24 single season rebuild, we are heading to Germany as we take charge of Hoffenheim, a team that finished 12th in the Bundesliga in the 22-23 season. We're going to jump in for one season to see if we can advance them and move them closer to the top of the table for the 23-24 season. Let's start off by checking out Hoffenheim's start of game tactic and their current best 11 according to their assistant manager. They like to set up in a defensive 3-4-3 that can convert to a 5-2-3 if the wing-backs stay back. They have a strong block of 3 defenders and they protect them centrally. At the top end of the pitch, they have 2 attacking mids and they look to play the ball to Kramaric at the top of the pitch. Looking at some of the key players, they have former Schalke, Liverpool and Norwich defender Ozan Kabak. They pair him with the strong, tall American John Brooks. They have versatile midfielder Dennis Geiger to break up attacks and utilise his passing to create from deep. And they have 32-year-old Croatian striker Andrej Kramaric as a talisman to score the goals. Looking at the finances for the rebuild, I have about 8.1 million in the bank to improve the squad and have a healthy wage budget with about 110,000 available there. Switching to the Club Vision tab shows us a board that have aspirations to qualify for the Europa League, as well as performing well in the DFB Pokal. With a clear picture of everything going on at the club, we're now going to head into the first transfer window to see if we can add any reinforcements to the squad for the first half of the season. The first player leaving us in the summer window was Ilyas Beybu. He has moved on to join Ajax. We allowed Ermin Bikacic to join Hanover. Diade Samaseku has left the club and he has gone to rivals Dortmund. And finally, Julian Justvan was moved on to Frankfurt. With those players leaving the club, we now have about 13.9 million available to spend and nearly £250,000 available in the wage budget. It's time to start bringing in players. The first new arrival was 23-year-old midfielder Christian. He joined from Atletico Paranaense in Brazil. We raided Frankfurt to secure the signing of left-sided Italian Luca Pellegrini. Up next was our marquee signing, and one that pleased the board, as we finalised the deal for 22-year-old Nikola Zalewski. And the final new face at the club was Nicolas de la Cruz, who joined us from River Plate in Argentina. With all that business done, we're left with about 1.1 million left to carry forwards into the January window. Finally, a quick look at how we will be lining up for the new season and a projected starting 11 for the first game of the season. With the summer transfer window now complete and our business all done, let's move into the first half of the season as we show you how we got on in the run-up to January the 1st. We kicked off our campaign in the DFB Pokal as we dispatched of Stuttgarter Kickers 6-0. We carried that form over to the Bundesliga as we won 2-1 against Köln, 4-1 away in Augsburg and 3-0 away against Wolfsburg. We were on a roll until we suffered a 1-0 defeat to Mönchengladbach and followed that up with a 2-2 draw away at Red Bull Leipzig. We crashed out of the DFB Pokal, losing 1-0 to Wolfsburg, before getting back to winning ways in the Bundesliga with an impressive 2-0 victory over Dortmund. That victory would be a sign of things to come as we played some brilliant football, beating Hanover 4-1, Bayern 2-1 and Nuremberg 3-0 in the run-up to January. On January the 1st, we would be sitting top of the Bundesliga by 7 clear points. This is a truly remarkable feat. We were knocked out of the DFB Pokal by Wolfsburg, meaning that the Bundesliga is now our only target. In the Bundesliga, we have played 17 games up to this point, winning 14, drawing 2 and losing just once. We have a goal difference of 29 and carry a 7-point lead over Bayern Munich. The Club Vision tab shows that the board are giving us an A-. They're delighted at the job we're doing, but annoyed that we haven't signed more players based in Germany and that we were knocked out of the DFB Pokal quite early. Going into the January transfer window, we have a nice cash injection from the board and they've given us £45 million to spend in the second half of the season in the hopes of winning the Bundesliga. With the first half of the season now complete, let's try and keep the momentum up as we head into the winter transfer window to try and add some reinforcements to the squad. To kick off our winter transfer window, we sold Jacob Brun-Larsen to Mainz before we allowed Robert Skov to go to England as he joined Leicester. This meant that we now have £50 million in the transfer kitty And we kicked off our big spending by buying Florian Niehaus from Gladbach, a versatile player with great passing ability, and we added following Balogun to our attack to score goals. His pace and acceleration should cause defenders nightmares. That means after our January transfer spending, we still have 9 million in the bank. As of the 31st of January, we are still sat top of the pack, and we now hold a 9-point lead over Bayern Munich. Before jumping into the second half of the season, let's catch up with the summer new boys. Christian has been active in the first team. He has made 14 appearances and provided 2 assists. Luca Pellegrini has made the left-back position his own. He's played in 12 games and provided an assist. Nikola Zalewski has been red-hot form on the left wing, scored 10 goals and provided 4 assists in all competitions. And finally, Nicolas de la Cruz has been a rotation player who's contributed well with 9 appearances, 1 goal and 3 assists. With the winter transfer window now complete and our business all done, let's head to the end of the season and show you how we got on at the end of our single season in charge. We kicked off the second half of the season with a 3-1 victory over Wolfsburg, but then we had a little blip as we lost 2-0 away in Frankfurt. We got back to winning ways though by taking 3 points in Leverkusen, before another 2-2 draw with Leipzig. We were then a bit up and down. A brilliant 4-2 win over Dortmund was followed by a 2-1 loss to Freiburg, and then we had a 5-0 demolition of Bochum. This all led to a potential blockbuster of a game against Bayern Munich, which disappointingly ended 0-0. After that game, we would go on to finish the season in fine form with a 2-0 victory over Mainz and a 2-1 victory over Nuremberg to complete our league campaign. That means after 34 tough weeks of the Bundesliga, we have managed to win the league. Yes, Hoffenheim are now the champions of Germany. We have beaten Bayern Munich to the title by 6 points. From our 34 games, we have won 26, drew 5, lost 3, scored 70 goals and ended the season with a 50-goal difference. We scored 83 points to finish 6 ahead of Bayern Munich. The board have decided we are untouchable, scoring us an A+, but despite us winning the league, they're still annoyed about the DFB Pokal and that we haven't signed enough players that are based in Germany. Finally, let's have a look at how our signings influenced the season. Starting off with Christian, he featured in 18 games and managed 2 assists. Luca Pellegrini had a decent season where he played 23 times and managed to contribute with an assist. Nikola Zalewski was a brilliant signing. He drove us forward, playing 32 times, scoring 16 goals and finishing with 4 assists. Nicolas de la Cruz served as a backup player in the second half of the season and chipped in when he was called upon. Florian Niehaus had a big impact on our midfield, making the majority of his Bundesliga starts for us. And finally, following Balogun, he started 14 times in the Bundesliga, scoring 5 goals and chipping in with a further 5 assists. So at the end of our season in charge, we have transformed Hoffenheim from nearly men to Bundesliga champions. So our single season in Germany comes to an end, and what a season it was as we managed to guide Hoffenheim to being Bundesliga champions. We took them from nearly men and made them champions. What a fantastic club and a fantastic season that we had. Right then, if you're still with me at this part of the video, firstly, a big thank you. Secondly, if you don't mind hitting that like and subscribe button to help the channel out. I really cannot thank you enough for all of the people that have come to the channel and interacted, no matter how big or small. Watching the channel grow really has been a pleasure, and it's all down to people like yourself who come and watch the videos and interact with them. Before you go, don't forget to check out the rest of the channel. There are other videos such as tactics, hints and tips, Wonder Kids, Let's Plays. There's a little something for everybody right here on the channel. But for this one, I'm going to leave it there. Big thank you for watching. I'll see you on another video very soon.